The trial of Mr. Greville Wynne, the British businessman charged with spying against the Soviet Union, is to open in Moscow on Tuesday. Details of the indictment have not yet been given. The British Embassy in Moscow have been told that places will be reserved in court for Mrs. Wynne, the British consul, a British lawyer, and a Russian-speaking member of the embassy to act as interpreter. It's hoped that before the trial begins, the British lawyer will have an opportunity of seeing the Russian who has been appointed by the Soviet government to defend Mr. Wynne. Reports are circulating in Moscow that Mr. Kozlov, a leading Communist Party chief, is ill. Our diplomatic correspondent says Mr. Kozlov has been conspicuously absent from the Moscow scene in recent weeks. He is supposed to be closer to Mr. Khrushchev than anyone else. Some even referred to him as Mr. Khrushchev's inevitable successor. So his incapacity means that there is now a serious gap in the Russian leadership. The biggest war crimes trial ever held in West Germany will start next year in Frankfurt. It involves 24 members of the staff of the Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz, where 2 million people were killed during the war. All 24 have been charged with murder. Our Bonn correspondent says the trial will last 4 or 5 months. It will be too big for any of the courts in Frankfurt, so it's planned to use a big community hall. 250 witnesses are being called from all over the world. Among the defendants is the last Nazi commandant of the camp, Richard Baer. Of the 24 people charged, only 12 are being held in custody, but the whereabouts of the others are known, and the authorities say they are sure they can't escape. The 2 members of the American Everest expedition who reached the summit on Wednesday have got back to their base camp, tired but well. The men, an American and a Sherpa, encountered high winds and low temperatures on their climb. They planted the American and Nepalese flags at the top. They found no trace on the summit of any previous expedition. The Chinese communists claimed to have conquered the mountain in 1960 and to have left behind a bust of Mao Zedong. Electricians in some BBC television studios went on strike this evening. They are members of the ETU and include men who work on studio lighting and maintenance. The BBC is doing its best to keep television programs going. The ETU recently put forward a demand for a 100% union shop. A BBC spokesman said tonight that the corporation's long-standing policy on trade union membership recognized the right of its staff to join any union or not to join one at all. This has been accepted by all other unions recognized by the BBC. A 31-year-old Jamaican stage artist, Aloysius Gordon, has been sent for trial at the Old Bailey, charged with causing grievous bodily harm to Christine Keeler, the 21-year-old model. The Marlborough Street magistrate refused bail, saying there could be repercussions if it were granted. There's to be a question in the Commons next week about initials inscribed on new rainwater spouts which are part of the Downing Street rebuilding. They include those of Mr. Macmillan and Lady Dorothy. The question is in the name of Mr. Marcus Lipton, Labour, who said today, various people seem to have been immortalized in this way. I want an official list. I also want to know why they are there and who authorized it. The forecast. It will be fine at first in most eastern and southern districts of England tomorrow, but elsewhere it will be dull with rain at times, and this wet weather is expected to spread southwards. The outlook for Sunday and Monday, sunny periods and showers. In the English Amateur Stroke Play Golf Championship at Royal Birkdale, Sandy Sadler of Forfar and Ronnie Shade, Durrington, shared the lead after the second round with an aggregate of 152. 4 strokes behind are Peter Green, Dave Miller, and R.J. Gardner, and 5 behind is Michael Benelek. In the Martini tournament at